All right, everyone, listen up. If you're planning on taking the TOEFL anytime soon, you're going to want to hear this, because some really big changes are coming to the reading section in 2026. And honestly, they could completely flip your test day strategy on its head, so let's get into it. And this, of course, brings up the million-dollar question, right? Should you try to hurry up and take the test as it is now, or should you wait for the new one? Well, by the time we're done here, you'll have a much clearer idea of which path is the right one for you. Okay, first things first, let's be super clear about this. These changes are set to go live in January of 2026, and for right now, they are laser focused on just one part of the test, the reading section. That's it. So how's this new thing even work? Well, the new reading section isn't just one long block of questions anymore. Nope. You should think of it more like a two-part journey. And the wild part is, the test actually adapts to you and your performance as you go. Here's the basic flow. Everybody starts with the exact same first part called Module 1. Then, based on how you did, the system, the AI, it checks out your score and assigns you a specific second part, Module 2, that's tailored to your level. Now, to really get what that journey feels like, you first need to meet the new cast of characters, so to speak. The whole test is built around 3 totally new types of tasks. Let's break them down one by one. First up, we have complete the words. It sounds simple, but whoa. You get a short text, and starting with the second sentence, every other word is basically chopped in half. You have to type in the missing letters. This is a pure test of your vocabulary and grammar. And here's the kicker. You can't really guess. You either know the word or you don't. Next on the list is read in daily life. And this is exactly what it sounds like. Practical, real-world stuff. You might see an announcement from your university, a social media post about a local farmer's market, maybe even a work email talking about an annual inventory audit. The texts are really short, and they only have a couple of questions each. And finally, there's read an academic passage. Now, this one is going to feel the most familiar if you've ever seen the TOEFL before, but it's a simplified version. Instead of some huge 700-word essay, you get a nice, tight 200-word text with just 5 questions. The topics are still academic, but they feel a little more modern. Okay, now let's get back to that adaptive journey I was talking about, because this is where the new test gets really interesting. The path you take in that second half, it depends completely on how well you did in the first. So here's the crucial point. After you finish Module 1, the system looks at your score. And the magic number seems to be right around 60%. Whether you score above or below that line determines if you get an easier second module or a harder one. And this lays it out perfectly. It's like 2 totally different worlds for Module 2. If you score below 60%, you get the easy module. It's filled with more of those practical daily life tasks, but, and this is key, no academic reading. If you score above 60%, you get the hard module, which doubles down on the academic passage tasks and gets rid of the daily life stuff completely. Okay, so we get the new structure, but how does it really stack up against the test we have right now, in 2025? Let's put them side by side. It's time for a little showdown. First, let's just talk about the sheer volume of questions. The new 2026 test is a marathon. You're looking at somewhere between 35 and 48 questions. That's a lot. Now, compare that to the current test. It's much more of a sprint with a fixed total of just 20 questions. 20! That's a huge difference. And that difference has a massive impact on your timing. On the new test, the pace is just relentless. You've got only about 36 seconds to answer each question. 36 seconds! The current test, though, it's way more forgiving. You get about 1 minute and 25 seconds per question. That is literally more than double the time to think. So let's just put this all together. You can see the key differences at a glance right here. The new test has way more questions, but the texts are much shorter. 200 words max versus 700. The old test is the same for everyone. The new one is adaptive. And this is a big one. The old test is all multiple choice, but the new one has mixed formats where you can't always just guess. So, after all that, we're back to where we started. What's the verdict? Which test is the right one for your particular skills? Let's quickly run through the pros and cons to help you figure it out. The big plus for the new 2026 format is, well, its simplicity. The texts are shorter, they're way less detailed, the topics feel more modern and relatable, and honestly, the individual questions are generally easier to answer than some of the really complex ones on the current test. But And this is a big but. The challenges are serious. You are facing a huge number of questions with very little time for each one. That adaptive structure can feel really unpredictable and stressful. And with tasks like complete the words, your safety net of guessing is just gone. So in the end, it really just boils down to this one simple question you have to ask yourself. What kind of test taker are you? Are you the person who does best when you can calmly and slowly unpack a really dense, complicated text? Or are you someone who thrives on speed, who can nail simpler questions quickly and accurately when the clock is ticking like crazy? If you can answer that, you'll know exactly what you need to do.